Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm sitting around with Jay Kimball.
And I'm student meteorologist Donovan Wiseman. Jay, the biggest story nationally, weather headlines, news headlines, has been the snow up in Buffalo and just these overall cold temperatures across the country.
Oh yeah, we're seeing a lot of snow accumulation. It's about 36 feet of snow, not inches, feet. That's a lot of snow. We got people trapped in their cars. Death toll is of 6, so
Yeah.
it's really been tragic.
It's been very bad, and that's the importance of staying updated on weather. In Buffalo yesterday, a woman, actually starting Monday night, this woman was driving down the interstate and wasn't aware of what was coming. She was stuck in her car for 30 hours. Get this, all she had in her car was a Rice Krispie treat, a Capri Sun, and that's it.
Oh man, well it's important to stay hydrated, stay fed, but if you're in a car, you gotta improvise. You gotta literally have anything in your car to just eat.
Yeah, you got to do whatever you can. Luckily, there were other truck drivers out there. They can't stop anywhere. They were stranded. They were helping her out, bringing her food, but there was no way the National Guard could get out there. No government help.
No way. I mean, you're talking about 36 inches feet of snow. So I mean, there's no way to get out there. No way to drive on the roads. You have to shovel all that snow out the way. So I mean, you had to resort to horses trying to shovel it out, trying it off the road. So
That's right. They were saying in Amish communities up around that area, they had teams of horses pulling 18-wheelers out of under snow.
yeah, but let's take it over now with our overview with Donovan.
Yeah, let's talk about that. This is what we'll be speaking of tonight on the show. It's cold for now here in Tallahassee, but we are going to see a warming trend and some chances of precipitation this weekend, so be prepared for that. We're talking about being prepared for weather. We'll be prepared for that. Rain this weekend as we got football going on as well. Satellite and radar is showing not a lot in our area here in Tallahassee, very clear. Down towards Miami and Key West, they're seeing some precipitation possibly, nothing too bad. That could also just be disturbances on our satellite. Country's staying pretty dry otherwise as far as that snow and Buffalo and maybe out west towards Seattle. Now for tonight here in Tallahassee, we're expecting 27 degrees, still below freezing, so you want to bundle up. It's going to be pretty cool out there. It's not too bad of a night. It's something that we've been experiencing over the last several days. Again, we are going to be warming up soon, so be prepared for that. That's some good news. Here's for tomorrow. We're going to let you know what that temperature is going to be and what the chance of precipitation is, but you can know that it's going to be warmer and there are going to be sunny skies, so something to look forward to and be happy about here in our area. Now Jay, let's go talk about just how cold it got here yesterday.
Oh, it got absolutely freezing over in Tallahassee area. We saw a record of 22 degrees worth of just warmth. That was it. That's all we got. I woke up at 8 a.m., went outside. It was close to about 30 degrees. I had to go right back inside, grab 2 more pair of shirts, then walk back out. It was absolutely freezing outside. So again, it's been quite a cold morning. We're seeing more of a cold morning tomorrow as well, but thankfully it'll be warming back up later on in the week. But we're gonna take a look at November 19th for the high. We saw 55 degrees. That's all we had for the high. Low, we broke the record for 2008. 22 is our low for today. So quite a cold one for the Tallahassee region and just Tallahassee in general. Thankfully, it's going to be warming up later on in the week, so we're looking forward to that when you play against Boston College on Saturday. It's going to be quite warm, around the 60s for Saturday. But let's take it over to our local with Jake.
All right, Jay. Yeah, it's been quite a cold one around, and today we saw really nothing. It's quite a sunny day throughout all day. We didn't see any clouds, and this really led to sunshine, but we didn't get a lot of warming. It has to do with how shallow this air mass we've been dealing with is. Just didn't get a lot of warming going on, but that is going to change in the next few days, coming days. But for right now, still sitting in the 40s in Tallahassee, 46 degrees is what we have right now. 57 in St. Mark's, so a little bit warmer down by the coast. 43 degrees in Carabel and along the line, but 40 degrees is really the trend right now, and it's going to be dipping back into the mid-20s I've got right now for most of the Big Bend. So it's another below freezing night. It's going to be another hard freeze warning, probably about 10 o'clock tonight for most of the Big Bend. But the wind's not really telling the complete picture right now. We have high pressure sitting off right around the central Georgia right now. We'll be moving east. It's going to be bringing us more southerly flow, and our moisture content will be going back up. We're going to be seeing temperatures warming again, but alongside that, we'll be seeing chances for rain increase. So on this graphic, any green you see is indicative of moisture. Any orange colors is indicative of dry air. So you can see right here, dry air sitting right on top of us, right around the Big Bend, and you see the huge plume of moisture moving off towards the east, towards the Atlantic. So that's the story right now, and now look at the radar here. This is the really takes up the whole image here, the dry air just sitting on top of the Big Bend and the capital city. But what are we going to be seeing the next few days? Like I said, high pressure is going to be moving off towards our east, and then down south, we're going to have a warm up, and then cold fronts going to be moving through. We'll be moving towards the west, and our chances of rain will be increasing through the next few days. Nothing substantial. We're going to keep our eyes on it. Might see a severe squall line or two in the next couple of days as this rain chances increase with this front. Depends on how much flow and moisture from the south we get. But in terms of our beach forecast, UV index is sitting at 11 right now. Still extreme, but northwest 5 knots is our wind, and surf not doing too much at all. But still got to keep our eyes on the UV index. The northwest winds are what's going to be changing. Obviously, we're going to see south, more southerly winds bringing us moisture from the Gulf. But for tonight, we're still going to be sitting below freezing, guys. All around the Big Bend, we got it below 30 right now, and more importantly, below 32. So you got to keep warm tonight, stay bundled. North winds still sticking around, and then for tomorrow, it's going to be mid-60s around. So warming up quite a bit. Going to be sunny out there. We'll be warming up even more, but we have another cold front coming through, which will drop things down to really this level next week. But for the weekend, the rain chances, like I said, going up. But taking a look through the 7-day football on Saturday for all of us here in Tallahassee, it's going to be cool tonight. 27 degrees is what we have it, warming up through the weekend, and the next cold front coming through by Tuesday to cool us back down. But Jay, we took a look at the southeast. Can you tell us about took a look at the local? You're going to tell us about the southeast, right?
Yes, indeed. You're seeing with the current temperatures as we zoom over to the southeast. You're starting 46 in Tallahassee. You're seeing 49 in Jacksonville. Over in Montgomery, 47. You're starting to see a little more of the cold front that came in through the area. You see with San Antonio as well as 66 and Shreveport 63. You see just behind it a lot more warmer temperatures in the area. Current winds, we're sitting at 0. We were at 10 miles per hour going from yesterday over to today, so winds finally calmed down a little bit more. You're going to see a little more of a high over in Little Rock in 10 miles per hour, Tupelo 6. You're starting to see a little more of that circulation going all the way from those states right there. Current relative humidity, we're seeing 37 in Tallahassee, 72 in Orlando. You're seeing a little more rain with the cold front that's just in front of it, with 84 in Miami, 100 in Key West. So you're seeing a lot more rain that's just kind of stalling out over in South Florida right now. And you see that also with the Water Vapor as well. A lot of rain associated with that cold front in more Miami and Key West. But again, after that cold front in Tallahassee, you see a lot more of that orange. That means a lot of dry air just behind that cold front, which means we're seeing a lot more drier, a lot more warm temperatures will be coming up after the cold front in just a couple of days. So on the radar, we're going to show you a little more about all the rain that's in Miami and Key West as well. But again, no clouds associated with Tallahassee and parts of the southeast after that cold front kind of washed this out, bringing in some nice cooler temperatures. But again, warming back up later on in the week. On the water, Thursday, it's going to be a light to moderate chop, waves 1 feet, northwest at 5 knots. So again, it's going to be a calm one on the water. But we see 24-hour temperature change. We only warmed up 2 degrees. That's it. That's all we got, folks. So again, we see a little bit more with Montgomery, Atlanta, and Tupelo. You see a lot more warming trend later on. We're seeing a lot more of a warming trend going up for Thursday and into the weekend as well. So tonight's forecast, seeing 24 degrees. We're going to be below freezing, so that means we're going to have a hard freeze warning in effect from 10 p.m. all the way up to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. As you see for tomorrow's forecast, 65 degrees, it's going to be quite a warm one for Tallahassee, 62 in Montgomery, 69 in Orlando. And for tomorrow night, we're not going to be seeing it as cold as it was tonight, 33 in Tallahassee, 35 in Montgomery, and 53 in Orlando. But now let's talk a little more about what's happening back at the desk with me and Donovan, of course. We're seeing a lot more colder temperatures over in the Tallahassee area.
We absolutely are, but you know what? We've been talking about severe weather. We started that at the start of the show. Let's continue that. This day in 1973, there was a tornado in Blanchard, Oklahoma. It damaged 180 homes, 20 businesses, and a high school there.
Wow. We always see the effects of tornadoes, but we really started seeing this day in history that a tornado can be very significant damage, can cause a lot of wind damage and a lot of deaths along the process.
That's right, and this is just that time of year where we see a lot of severe weather, including tornadoes. That just seems so far away from what we've been talking about with the blizzard-like conditions up north and the lake effect snow.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even think about tornadoes right now. I mean, we're thinking all of cold weather, like you're talking about more winter starting to get more effect, even though this still is fall weather.
Yeah, it's still fall. It's still technically fall, but it feels like winter here.
Yeah, but Donovan, we're going to take a little around national look around the nation. So what's happening around the nation right now?
Well, let's go talk about it. These are our watches and warnings around the country. You can see out west they're experiencing a bunch. Of course, in upstate New York, you see those colors up there. That's indicating those snow chances. They're expected to get even more snow. It's just really bad in that area. If we take it back home around Florida here, you see this is indicating some freeze warnings even down towards Orlando and areas like that, Daytona. Of course, we're in a hard freeze effect. It's not showing on this particular map, but there is freezing temperatures in this area down to Gainesville and areas like that. So you want to stay informed again about this weather. Now here's our 24-hour temperature changes from yesterday. Atlanta has went up 12 degrees. They're actually warmer than we are right now, and they're going to be warmer than we are tonight despite being further north. In Miami, they had 2 degrees to spare. They've gone up 2 degrees. They're currently around 62. In Dallas, they're seeing some warming, and across Texas, but this is what you want to notice up here. They're staying very constant. They're probably going to see some more snow again. Here's our current conditions. You can look up that way. Just lake effect snow, and you can see that over the Great Lakes around Detroit, they're probably seeing some snow as well. 44 in Atlanta, 46 here, 63 in Miami. They're staying very warm, and that's continuing out into Texas. They're seeing more of that warmer weather. There is some expected rainfall out in this area, and they're going to be seeing some cooler temperatures as that approaches. Nothing winter-like, excuse me. Now, this is just that rainfall that's going on out there. You can see it pushing around Northern California, up into Seattle, Washington, and across Oregon. That's the only other thing that's going on besides snow as far as precipitation across the country. And we're going to zoom in on that, and it's just hovering all over San Francisco, up into Northern California again. Nothing too bad, not a lot to talk about. This is where the action is over here. You can just see that pushing in off of the Great Lakes over here, and it's just going to be moving in that area even more, as if they didn't get enough already. They're going to see a few more inches of snow probably by the end of the week. And this is going over around the Great Lakes again. This is the culprit of all of that. It's just bringing in all that terrible weather to Buffalo right here, and they're going to see more again, unfortunately for them. And this is that rainfall out to the west. Not a lot to talk about. Here's tonight's forecast around the country in some major cities. 31 in Atlanta. They're going to be below freezing as well. 24 in Tallahassee. 62 down there in Miami. If you got family down there, you're jealous of them. 44 in New Orleans. And then across Texas again, they're staying a little bit warmer than us. We're staying even cooler than some of these areas just because of the way that cold front moved in from the northwest. It's still lingering. We're feeling effects of that. Again, we're going to see some warming temperatures, though, so there's good news in the future. And for tomorrow, we're seeing 65 here in Tallahassee, 55 in Atlanta, and it's just going to be a little bit warmer than it was today. Now, Jay, let's talk about the local forecast again.
Yeah, we're going to talk about local forecast, but we're going to take a look at the rest of the work week first. You're going to see cold for now. There will be a warming trend later on Thursday and Friday, and we're going to have some weekend rain with another cold front starting to come in. Not as strong as this one, though. We're going to see temperatures in the 60s, lows in the 40s. It's not going to be as strong as the one that we're seeing right now. But again, Thursday and Friday, we'll be warming back up, 65 and 27, and respectively on Friday, 69 for the high and 34 for the low. Let's take a look at the current temperatures around the capital city. You're seeing 46 in Tallahassee. It's starting to drop back down again with the sun starting to go down over the horizon. 57 in St. Mark's, 41 in Monticello. Quite a cold one going into tonight. We are going to be under a hard freeze warning that will be in effect from 10 p.m. tonight over to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Satellite radar is not really much to talk about. We're just seeing a lot more sunshine in the area. We are a sunshine state. We are seeing a lot more of that sunshine. Because of the cold front that has kind of washed us out over the area, Miami and Key West, if you live in those areas or you have family in those areas, they're already seeing a lot more rain. It's just kind of stalling out over South Florida right now, but that will make its way out in just a couple of days. We're going to take a look at the futurecast. The high is just sitting right over us right now. When we come to Thursday and Friday, it will start moving its way over to the Gulf of Mexico, so there's going to be a slight warm-up associated with the high. Like I said before, that cold front will make its way back over Tallahassee, so a lot more rain we'll be seeing for Saturday and Sunday. But when we go into the rest of the week, we will be seeing quite a cold one, not as cold as the one I was talking about earlier. Tonight's forecast, it's going to be 27 degrees. It's still going to be below freezing, so make sure you bundle up. Sweet baby winter is not done with us yet. It's still crawling over the capital city, so it's not going to be lasting too much longer. It's going to be crawling its way out over to the Gulf. So again, quite a cold one, not colding too much longer. Tomorrow's forecast, 65 degrees. It will be warmer with sunny skies in the area, so it's going to be quite a better day for us. Not going to be as cold, but you're still going to need a coat if you're going to go out tomorrow morning. Not more so in the afternoon, because it will be quite a warm one, around 60s. We're finally seeing temperatures going up after 50. On Friday, it will be warming up, quite a warming one indeed for Friday. For Saturday, you're going to have that garnet and gold gear. We are playing against Boston College at 3:30 on Saturday. But you might want to bring those ponchos because it might be a wet one because of cold front coming in over the weekend. Thursday, quite a cold one. You're still going to see a temperature of 27 degrees as the low. Going into Friday, it's going to be quite warming up. And you start seeing Saturday and Sunday, we're back in the 70s, but rain will be coming back into the capital city as well. And for the rest of the work week, going into next week, it's going to be quite a cold one coming down, 68 on Tuesday and 64 on Wednesday. So just in time for Thanksgiving, no more rain, just a lot more calm, cooler temperatures. So you're not going to see more like fall, more like winter.
Oh yeah, that's going to be the trend all around the U.S., but even right now, Miami still seeing rain, right? They're still seeing moisture coming into the area. I mean, we're seeing 20 degrees tonight. Their lows in the upper 60s or 70s.
Yeah, my family called me earlier saying that how cold it was. I'm looking at the temperature, seeing 7 degrees, and I'm just like, really? We're seeing 30, 40 degrees as the high for most of the day. So, I mean, it's quite a cold one for us. Not as cold down there in South Florida.
I mean, even looking at the relative humidity, I mean, obviously it's raining down there, so relative humidity is 100% when it's raining. So we're seeing 20% relative humidity, skin, chafing, all that stuff, but they're down there at 100% raining out at 80 degrees. So.
Yeah, so quite a cold one. Rain not making it just as colder. But now let's take it out over to the wall right now.
Oh yeah, we have some more to talk about here with Florida. This little brief intro there discussing Miami. We've seen the moisture hitting throughout the day, but see, look right here down there, 63 degrees, like I said, still seeing that cloud cover, and moving up towards Jacksonville, they're at 39 degrees. That's pretty stark contrast. Even over here in Orlando, 56 degrees, and then up there at the capital city, 46 degrees. So Miami still seeing the cloud cover and moisture, keeping their temperature not as variable as we've been seeing with our humidity the way it's been. This wind, the wind here is a pretty good picture of what's going on. We do have some flow moving this way, kind of in a clockwise pattern. Jacksonville seeing some more south or northwesterly, excuse me. But this is going to be the trend for us as this front, or the high pressure, excuse me, moves off towards the west, starts to steer the flow more this way. It's going to bring more moisture to the Big Bend, raise our chances for precipitation through the next few days. And Miami, as always, can probably expect to see some rain showers. But right now, it's more of a tropical low causing their problems. But we'll talk about more about that in just a moment. But for the relative humidity I was just talking about, 84 and then 100% down there in Key West. So it's raining all over South Florida right now. 67 over by the coast near Jacksonville, and then 37%. So we're very dry right now behind this front moving off. 51 in Pensacola, so big difference right now. There's a lot, and that's, you can see it in the temperatures from north to south, and the front moving off. We'll take a better look at the precipitation right now in South Florida, all the way from Fort Myers extending down to Miami, seeing some kind of scattered showers throughout the day today. Cloud cover has been persistent as well. If we look at Jacksonville, not a lot going on with Jacksonville. They're still pretty dry. This is not precipitation. This is basically the radar getting fooled by things such as cloud or dust, things like that. But this is not precipitation. We move down south. We take a better look. Moving all through, we have precipitation. This is rainfall right now. Nothing too heavy, but we still do see it. And then moving over to Central Florida, same thing. We might see some bad returns like over near Tampa, or right here, some pop-up showers moving off towards the north or northwest of Vero Beach. But then back to the Big Bend, not a whole lot going on. Might see a pop-up shower or two, but been a very clear day. Like right there, still just bad returns. So we've had a clear day for most of Florida, except Miami. So For tonight, it's going to be 24 again. We're still dipping below 32, 29 Jacksonville below freezing. We move south, they're going to be a little bit warmer, 62 Miami, and then Central Florida sticking around the mid 40s, and then moving over towards tomorrow's forecast, 69 is Orlando and 71 in Tampa. And we're actually going to be warming up quite a bit too. We're going to be sitting in the mid 60s, and that's going to continue through the next few days as we warm back up until we get dropped back down by a new cold front, and our precipitation chances go right back up. But Jay, actually for now, excuse me, we're going to take a look at the tropics with Donovan. Donovan?
That's right, Jake. We're going to look at the tropics because it is still tropical season. We're here in our Tropical Update Center. Not a lot to talk about. Most of the severe weather, again, has been more winter-related, but we do want to stay informed as far as the tropics go because, again, this is that time of year where we see some tropical storms and things like that. Now, this is our hurricane climatology. This is just showing exactly what happens when something is developing. This is the general direction of a storm, but it does pass over areas just south of us in Florida, and that's where it would go. Now, let's talk about what's going on in Mexico. This is around central Mexico, not too far from the Florida coast, you see there. This is more of just a tropical disturbance. This is not a tropical storm. It's a tropical wave right now. We don't expect it to really develop into anything because conditions north of it just aren't just aren't fit for that to happen. There's a different type of air mass north of it, so it doesn't expect to take off and turn into anything. And this is just where it will probably move off. Here's current conditions for this evening in Tallahassee. We're expecting 46 degrees, 43 up in Albany. Again, behind this cold front, you can see a little bit warmer temperatures than you would expect for central Alabama and places like that, that usually would be cooler than us if not for that cold front passing through. And we just get the blunt of those because it moves from the northwest, and we just feel the effects of that just because we're directly in the path of that. Further south of us around Gainesville, they're seeing 45 degrees. Quite an increase down in Orlando. If that's where you're from, you'd probably like to be back home right now. It's 56 degrees. Now, here's our satellite and radar across the Big Bend area and much of North Florida here. Again, Jake was talking about it. There's not been a whole lot going on today. A few clouds out there. If you were outside yesterday, you could see that cold front visibly passing over. We had a student meteorologist caught a really cool picture of that, Kirsten, and she saw that cold front just moving on out of here. But the effects of it are still lingering around today, unfortunately. Not all of it is gone, as we talked about. We are going to be warming up, and that's what we're seeing. For tonight, it's going to be around 43 degrees, and then much of the same around the area in the 40s and 30s. Taking it on into Thursday around 5 a.m., 30 degrees, still below freezing, and it's just going to be pretty cold until we finally get warmed up in tomorrow afternoon. 61 degrees here in Tallahassee, significantly warmer than what we saw today, about 5 or 6 degrees. And then into Friday morning, we're staying above freezing, so that's a win for us. We're happy about that. We're going into Friday afternoon, 65, and then going into Friday night, 53 degrees. Good night to be outside. I think there's a Friday night get down in town this weekend for the game. Be sure to go out and check that out. Our current conditions around the Big Bend and Tallahassee, 46 degrees, partly cloudy, 21 degrees is our dew point. Humidity is pretty high. Now, Jay, let's go talk about some more with you.
Yes, we're going to talk about more of the New England and Northeast states. They're seeing a lot of snow associated with the cold front that passed over us. It's going all the way up the East Coast right now. And they saw a total of 6 deaths ranging from all the snow that's been buried in upstate New York and the Great Lakes. They saw a total of 3 to 6 feet of snow. And we're taking a look in Buffalo. Credit to Sean Smith for taking this beautiful photo of a lot of snow that's starting to come into parts of Buffalo. A lot of snow associated with that. Great snow indeed. We saw a total of 6 deaths, 2 being in Erie County. And while we're talking about Erie County, in Cheektowaga, they saw a total of 65 inches of snow. That's a lot of snow for that place in this time of year. It's still November, but a lot of snow associated with a lot of deaths, and still more snow, people being buried in their houses as well as their cars. So a lot of snow. I'm getting really, really cold. So let's take it back over to Jake, who's hopefully taking a lot of coats with them taking a lot of coats with them in Tallahassee.
All right, Jay, and it's been taking a look at that picture there. It's quite a mess going on. They still got more snow to deal with over the next couple of days, but bringing it back locally, we're still sitting at 46 degrees right now as the temperature's tapering off towards the evening. It's going to get dropping down into the mid-20s tonight, but we will be warming up through the next few days. So you want to keep your eyes on that, as well as the precipitation chances, which are going to go up as well. But right now, sitting at 37 degrees, so it's very, very dry out there, especially considering earlier today, I believe we were in 20% relative humidity. Just been very dry throughout the day, but for now, 50s, mid-40s all around the board, 56 in St. Mark's, and then if you look around, Quincy's sitting at 39, so they're really starting to cool off. Down here, 46 in Tallahassee, and then by the coast, still staying a little bit warmer, but for the next few days, these numbers are going to be going up for our lows and our highs. But the current dew point, the farther away this number is from our actual temperature, is how it's an indicator of how moist we are. So if we were just looking at 46 for Tallahassee, that's 21 degrees is our dew point. Pretty good separation, so it's dry out there. And down here, it's even drier down here, 14. We were in the 50s in St. Mark's, and then up here, it's just the trend all around. We see these temperatures in the 20s and 30s when we're really sitting in the 40s and 50s right now as our actual temperature. But satellite and radar throughout today, very dry, very sunny. We didn't see any clouds really developing at all. See a little bit going on to our southwest, but not really affecting us locally here in Tallahassee. But in the next couple of days, we're going to have high pressure sitting to our north right now. It's going to be moving down towards the east and towards the south. It's going to bring us more southerly flow, and as a consequence, more moisture and a warm up. But as we move through into the weekend, rain chances are going to be going up. Might start seeing them on Friday, more likely on Saturday. We will start seeing, like I said, as the rain chances going up in time for Boston College. Unfortunately, we might have to keep our eyes on that for some scattered showers and such as the next cold front moves through. But for our beach forecast, not a whole lot to talk about right now. Northwest winds, 5 knots. Beach, or the surf's not doing too much. And then the UV index is sitting at 11. So always got to keep your eyes on that. That is an extreme value for the UV index. But for tonight, like I said, below freezing again. And then we're north winds, not south yet. So we're not getting that moisture. It's going to be another freeze, below freezing temperatures all around the board. But for tomorrow, it's going to be a colder morning, sitting around 30 degrees. It's going to be warming up to the mid-60s throughout the day. And then for the nighttime, it's going to be another cold one, but not as cold. We'll be sitting in the mid-30s. But for our 7-day, as I said, Boston College sitting there on Saturday. We're going to have it's going to be cool moving into the weekend with our chances of rain climbing on Sunday. Then another cold front moving through, cooling us back down into the following week, where we will see temperatures that are cool, but not quite as cool. We won't be setting new record lows. So that's always the great news, right?
Yeah, I always feel like baby winter and just kind of like touched our capital city's cheek and just left an icy touch because all this cold weather. I'm just sitting here freezing the past couple of days.
Oh, I've been covering up in layers. It's not doing much. But speaking of Boston College, this Saturday, 3:30 p.m. kickoff. Right now, we've got temperatures probably going to be sitting in the 70s, right?
Yeah, but we're going to see a couple of rain showers here and there. I mean, we're seeing a 10% chance of rain for Saturday and Sunday. We're seeing a lot of rain, 80% chance for rain on Sunday, but warmer temperatures as well.
Right, Doak does not allow umbrellas, so you got to bring those ponchos if you want to stay covered. But with the forecast there, chances going up through the weekend, and then another cold front into the next week.
Yeah, but I mean, just in time for Thanksgiving on Thursday, we're seeing some cool temperatures, so not hot, not cold, just the absolute Goldilocks weather, so perfect weather just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we do. Florida State will be out of session that Wednesday, so everybody's going to be heading home along the interstate. Travel should be great. It's going to be looking clear for the most part, but
again, you can always like us on Facebook.com, follow us on Twitter, and you can watch our lovely faces at livestream.com/FSU Weather, where you can see all the past episodes as well as tonight's episode as well.
Yeah, if anybody out there catches any pictures of the events we discussed tonight, we will gladly show them on the show. We'd love to use them.
Yeah, as well as some pictures later on in the week, and as well as Boston College game, we would love to show them out. But I'm Steve Round, Jay Kimball.
You guys have a good night.